Rivendell. This is the sound of this track, music track. It's called Middle Age or something. Let me check. Middle Earth, Rivendell, music and ambience. Yeah, so I'm ready for one more hour of editing before jumping to another break, dinner, and coming back. I'm having some tea. Sorry about the extra promotional stuff that is online. This is yogi tea, choco tea, and I've added some cinnamon, honey, pepper, and ginger. This size, a piece this size of ginger. So this is a very powerful tea, very strong tea. So let's go. Editing. It hurts so much every time I see this newbie error. Not caused by me, but not prevented by me. What I'm doing is just typing 6 to flag the picture, changes to green, 7, can you check that, turns yellow, and 8 turns red. The same as in Lightroom, I'm flagging, not flagging, rejecting the image. So for example, this one was a test shot, and I just rejected this image. At the end I will double check the rejected and I will delete them. I will double check the non-selected, and then I'll keep moving to the selected and started rating them with stars and prepare the images for delivery. Those images were taken with the Hasselblad h6D. It's not very common. It was my first time shooting an event with a medium format camera, come on. So those are movement shots. I photographed these at 1/60th. I could maybe increase that, yeah. It's very tricky to improve from here, but because if I increase the shutter speed, this is only one shot. I don't have to 2 attempts for the same shot, so this is about the area of focus, but due to movement, this is blurred caused by movement. I can remove it in Photoshop, but it will be very time expensive. If I have 100 images to do this, that's lots of time, and for me that's acceptable for the purpose of this. Come on. So yeah, unfortunately I had the import settings wrong when I imported those images. That's why the color temperature and everything else is wrong. The guy is, it's funny. Alright. Just giving a quick selection all over the photographs. I'm literally wasting a whole day, well, a few hours in my day, just to correct the images. That's very annoying. That's why we want to make sure that we have things right on camera as possible. Yeah, guys, if you have any questions or anything else, you can ask me in the chat. I'll keep an eye on the chat here and then. Oh, it hurts me to see those blue images. Let's go. I'm seeing this and I know that I will crop the images. I'll do so many things to the images after this. Yeah, I'll just apply the standard. I don't want the standard, man. Come on. Do things right. Do things right. Come on. Oh, it worked. Cool. Come on. Ah. Reduce that exposure, you bastard. Batch modified is one. Nope, not this one. No. So copy settings. Well, Godspeed. Let's go. Everyone goes standard. Oh, adjusting him. La 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 la. Let's wait. I'm using 10 gigabytes of RAM. I can get it now. My processor is at 60%, 90 degrees Celsius. It's cooking. One thing that I have to get better at is to copy and paste settings on Focus. I'm used to Lightroom. It's very easy to synchronize the settings on Lightroom. I'm sure there's a way here to do the same, so I'll have to check that out. For example, the crop. I'll crop images to remove this newbie error. Ah, that hurts. That hurts. I'll crop the images, but I have so much resolution to I can literally crop this into half and I will still have a 4K image. Well, not 4K is mentioned to video usually, but you know what I mean. The images look a bit flat at the moment. That's kind of the purpose, the goal. I first want the images to be flat, and then eventually I will tweak them in Photoshop and create a fine art final product. Or I'll just keep all the editing here because this is an event and I have lots of images. I will just readjust the curves adjustment layer here, eventually add 1 or 2 layer masks above it, and yeah, and finish there. So we have to go one by one, literally, on all images to be sure that there is no garbage among the selected. I don't really care if the driver or the car are not very sharp in those images, because the goal of those images is to transmit movement because they were moving. I don't just want to... It was not my goal to photograph the drivers only inside the car. It was my goal to photograph the drivers in the car, moving and getting out of the grid. So in the future they can clearly identify that those images were taken at Goodwood when they came here to participate in the world record of the maximum number of Audi's R8's on track. Yeah, you said hello, but you covered it, man. So literally that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to recover the information that we have on the highlights, especially on the sky. I'll create a mask just to reinforce this effect, this recovery on the sky only, and I will increase the contrast, clarity, etc. on the car. Audi R8. So this is important for me because I'm going to take as much people as I can and forward this to them. Yeah, guys, keep in mind I'm checking my chat if anyone is watching this at any time, live or after live. Not after life, but after the live streaming. That was funny. Yeah, just comment below. Just don't be rude. This is like a boss. Yeah, cool. This one failed completely. Boom, 8. 6. Right. 6. Yeah, people were so happy. That's so cool to see. So I'm still shooting at 1/60th of a second. F12. That's a closed lens. I'll have to go and crop all of those images. Oh my dear. Oh no, failed. I missed that one. I can't wait for the day for me to do this with an assistant, and the assistant will be using an iPad, and I will connect the camera with Wi-Fi to the iPad, and the assistant or whoever is taking the iPad is proofing the images as I'm taking them, and giving me also specific good feedback and instructions. Now this is one of the coolest images, and I photographed this at 1/100th of a second, and he was going very slow, slower than the other ones. So yeah, when there's a good interaction between the photographer and the driver, that's what happens. That's a cool image. That's a good image. I will crop this there. Yeah, let's try it. Let's go. Crop the image. I don't want it to be at the center, maybe more like that. Rule of thirds, right? So as you see, you still have lots of resolution available, and if let me just test this image as it was the final version. I will quickly do this, this, and this. Pulling the blacks a little bit down, keeping the mid-tones, and pulling the whites up a little bit, actually. The famous S-curve. Now, no, not that. It's not that I want, I was just checking. Color correction. I can pick up the greens, and I can literally remove the greens from the image. How cool is that? Lots of greens. Now let's turn this into autumn. Come on, mate. Isn't this better? Yeah, it looks much better like this. Removing the greens and shifting the greens to brown, but I'm not going to do that. Sorry. Not now. Don't touch a rescale, noise filter, no. Less removal, lens correction, calculation. Okay. New adjustment layer. On the new adjustment layer, I'm going to create a gradient. It's the first time I'm using this, so probably if I use Shift. No. So I want just, for example, to decrease the exposure. Maybe I just want f-stop. Or I can just create the... Hey, where'd you go? Where have you gone? So what I can do is create a Top Gear effect, but not too much. Just darken the sky, about 1 f-stop, and recover as much as I can. So I drop this to about half height. I don't want detail on the shadows, I want to recover the highlights. Check the clarity. I can add a bit of clarity. Maybe I'll just add clarity all over the image. I don't want to have clarity now. And now unsaturate. Unsaturate it. Come on, where are you going? Where are you? Where's it going? Now that's something I would like to understand why this is happening. So about this, probably I shouldn't click. Oh, not that much accentuated, just a little bit. Right, now let's create another one. And I also want just to decrease the exposure on 2/3 of an f-stop. That will be 0.6. There we go. Another thing that I like to do is to create a circle mask on the wheels and on the driver to enhance the brightness, for example, or something like that. This tea is good. The image has a bit of dust. Noise, not dust, this is noise, this is digital. Oh, disconnected. Oh, sorry, my streaming glitched. It's not very stable. My internet is not very quick right now at the moment. Right, good. So I really feel that I don't like the greens, man. But if I remove the greens from this one, it is easy because I have a white car. But then if I do the same thing to another car, I might have some troubles. I have no green cars actually, but I have to make a decision. So bring everything up, clarity, not too much. Now I can use the whole 15-bit range of the Hasselblad because to remove the flattened sensation of the image when we do this, I'm increasing the contrast, increasing the brightness, and giving a little bit more of clarity. And now I have lots of information on the shadows, on the highlights. Got information in the sky, information, and this is a white car. So I have information in the whites and in the blacks. That's amazing. I couldn't do that with my Nikon. Impossible. In one image, I could never record that much information just only in one image. Yeah, so this literally is a 5-star image. Is one of my best till now. What I can do with this? What if I do this? To create a more cinematic effect. Well, in this case I prefer when it's on the opposite side. Ah, no, damn it. So what I'm doing here is I'm keeping the middle tones about the same, and I'm experimenting changing the opposites. Hello? No. No. Ah! Come back here. You. There. There. Okay, draw a new one. Let's go a bit crazy so I can literally see what's happening. I prefer to do this in Photoshop because I have much more control. Come on, I can change the opacity, how this affects the darks and the whites, and you know. But if I'm happy enough here, I don't have to go to Photoshop. Got it. I don't know if I like this, but yes, I can do this, but now the whites here are blown out. I can reduce your overall exposure, for example. How cool is that? Look at the histogram, so much information. Oh dear. Okay, I can keep this one as a reference. That's what I would do. I think I just messed too much with the color. I'd like to reduce the impact of this. Just a bit of the cinematic effect. Subtle one. Now, should I keep this one a little bit linear and increase overall exposure, or pull up here the whites, the highlights, and bring the overall exposure down? And it comes to flatten. That'll be it. Let's move forward. I'll come back later to this. Because usually we spend a little bit more time on the first one, and then we copy paste the settings and just have to readjust a few to keep them all at the same feeling, you know. And actually, I'm going to copy. I'm going to copy these settings. Where focus? What's this? Yeah, basically I want to save the adjustments. Can I create a new one? Current, modify. No, I want current, save. Right, yeah. Yeah, I want to save all of the adjustments. Add new default adjustment setting. Add new default using current. Alright. 1947. There you go. Alright. Batch modify. Okay. So now. Oh wait, no. I don't want to crop. I don't want crop. I don't want crop. I don't want crop. Alright. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to select all the images to modify. This. Yes. Use. Modify adjustments current. No. Seriously. Yeah, mate, actually I like it like this, but I want to apply this to all of the images. Alright. Come on. AUDI R8, this is one of the best images. Come on, mate. 5 star. Boom. Let's crop this after. Come on, Francisco. You got 1 minute. You got 1 minute. Let's try. Modify. Let's try it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Everything except the crop. Adjustments, current. All of them. Boom. Oops, sorry. I kicked the microphone. Oh, I just burned one light. Oh shit. Uploading. I'm checking my phone, so if you have comments or something when you go live, you know, just my computer is at the moment 63% CPU at 89 degrees Celsius, 9.92 gigabytes of RAM used. That means 62% as well. So 16 gigabytes of RAM is more than enough. And I'm using fast digital hard drives. So unless I have a faster CPU, yeah, but at least the CPU was not being used at 100%. So yeah, let's go. Yes, I've got the adjustment layers. Do I? No, I don't. No, I don't. Uh-huh. How about doing this again? Oh, I can't do this with adjustment layers? Come on, seriously. That is where Lightroom will win focus. Probably that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep this as raw and simple, and then I'll jump to Lightroom, and then I'll have to jump to Photoshop. Oh dear. By the way, this is a pop killer, and I'm popping. Curves, yes. Adjustment layers. Nope. So come on. have to apply the adjustment layers by myself. I'll have to do some cleaning. Is this a mark on the track, on the tarmac, or in the lens? It's in the lens. It's in the tarmac. Okay. Yeah, probably I'll go. I prefer to do this on freaking Lightroom, at least. Because. No, not the image. Because. I'll be spending too much time here. I cannot have as much control as I have in Lightroom or Photoshop to adjust the adjustment layers. I can do a quick mask here, but I cannot then copy. When I modify, I cannot copy the adjustment layers throughout the whole images, so yeah, forget about it. I'll definitely have to go back to Lightroom. So, yeah. Bye. No adjustment layers. So what will I use here in Focus? The sharpness algorithm from Focus. I'll trust it's better than using this in Adobe because I use Hasselblad. I'm using the Hasselblad software. I'm trusting the process. Curves. Bye. See how flat the image is, and after my adjustments, simple adjustments on the curves, boom, much more impact. That's what I want, but I'll do this in another software. Bye. The image is flattened. I'm going to use flatten images. I'm going to crop then the images. I will still have lots of resolution to play around with. Yeah, keep going, Francisco. 8 p.m. Time to think about dinner. So yeah, guys. Modify standard. Have to wait a little bit. I'll have to try to do this live on Facebook to see if I have more followers. Oh, done. Well, I was dead. Oh no. Just remove that part of the image that is not good. I'll say that this is the acceptable part of the image. I still have a bit there, but that's easily fixable. And now, yeah. Modify and include crop. Standard, no, current. Let's go. I'm back. Oh no,